Hi everyone, I'm Natalia, and I'm super excited to share with you my winning trade this time. This actually has been requested by Marco, so if there is anything that you would like me to showcase or to explain, please feel free to leave the comment down below. Okay, so let's fasten your seatbelts and let's dive in straight to the charts. Okay, so let's have a look at the charts now, which is the most exciting part. I hope that you love charts in the same way as me. I think this is what is very important. To have a reason why do you trade is more about that it's something that we are passionate about. So, and this is how I feel about charts. Charts excite me. It's incredible that you can just look at the chart like on this one, and then you can basically understand which way market is going to go or what market is going to do. I think this is beautiful and I absolutely love this. The trade that I would like to showcase right now is going to be the one which I took on the 8th of January. The reason for this trade, what I wrote, it was only fair value gap, but there's something more if we'll have a look on this one. The trade was 3.42 risk reward, but I closed this trade early because we were in an uptrend and I was basically shorting the market, which is not something that you would like to do. So let's have a look on this trade. This is how the chart looked when I decided to enter it. The trend, as you can see, we have higher lows and we have higher highs. So the trend was uptrend, but I decided to short it, and I will explain why. I decided to short it because, first of all, we had this liquidity void, which means the price went up that fast that it created this gap. Plus, we have fair value gap, which means we have this gap here. And when we're talking about fair value gaps, this is where we have to look at 3 candles. This is what will create fair value gap. And if between 3 candles, you have a gap like here. So basically in this area, it's nothing. And this will create our fair value gap. And this is basically ICT concept. I love ICT concepts. And this is something what I use. Obviously, my strategy or the way how I see the market, it's not advanced as ICT. I would love to learn this all one day. So I would call what I'm actually doing kind of like a simple, simple way of seeing ICT concepts, because those are absolutely incredible. And you should have a look at this because everything is for free. Right. So if we'll have a look at the market, so what I actually do, so before I enter this trade, I like to understand a bit more about the market, what is happening, and I will start with understand the trend. So I will go from the monthly chart. This is where I will look at monthly. At this is for me bearish. Besides the fact that we made higher low, which can suggest that we'll switch in the market. So this can also be called change of character. This is also one of the way how you can name this. And in fact, what I will have to wait for to understand if this is a rejection of making higher high, or if we'll still go up. So this is a very important moment on the monthly, and this can take quite a long time to unfold. So we have to be patient with this one. And then after I will review what is the trend on monthly, I will go and check the trend on weekly. So that's kind of like my routine, what I will do before enter any trade. So weekly we look more bullish, besides the fact that this is where we made lower low and we made lower high, which could suggest our market switching bearish. But I don't want this. So I would like still to watch what is happening. Then I will go to daily. And on daily we were bullish. Now we are consolidating and we took the lows, which is actually good. We would like to see that market after some period of time, especially after 20, 40 or 60 days, when the last lows are taken on the last highs are taken, because this is where the market can go to the opposite direction. So now what I would like to see, that we'll go straight up, or we can also reject making higher high, which will suggest that we are back in the bear trend, which we don't like to see. But again, market is market and we can trade in any direction, so it actually doesn't matter. So if I come back to our trade, as you can see, my take profit wasn't the best in this idea because the market started reversing a bit early, but I closed the trade early anyway. And also, just to clarify why I took the trade, is market like to balance, and this is why we went down, basically to first of all close this gap, which is liquidity void, so there's nothing in this area. So this is why market come back to it, as you can see there. Then we went up, we rejected to making higher, and then we continue going low. And at this point, we close this gap. So literally the gap that has been left, it's really small. So this is why we went straight up. So this is absolutely beautiful trade. This is what I would love to see. And sometimes it's difficult to wait for those trades because you really would like to be in a trade and you starting just jump into it, which is something that I need to work on, just to wait for the trade to unfold. It's what we all have to do. Okay, thank you guys. I hope you find this insightful. Thank you so much.